this method of urban farming. Vanessa has installed an aquaponics kit at home and sells her produce. She invested 400 euros into her business and has already seen profit.
Je suis à la 3e récolte de menthe et de curcuma. Mais pour le poisson, c'est ça qui va véritablement me rapporter de l'argent.
A few kilometers away, Vanessa goes to supply fish to a new customer. The restaurant owner has been buying from her for the last 6 months.
Comment tu vas?
Angel says it's cheaper buying aquaponics produce.
Les clients aiment vraiment ça parce que c'est frais, c'est bio et c'est le poisson qui me donne beaucoup plus d'argent. Depuis que je prends ce poisson, le poisson chez Vanessa, les clients, j'ai beaucoup de clients qui viennent.
Those who've invested in aquaponics are hoping it will continue to grow in popularity and make a big impact in a country that still imports more than 50% of its food.
Well, that's it for Across Africa for now. Please do join us again if you can. Till then, take care.
It may be a cliche, but we truly are living through extraordinary times. COVID-19, climate change, a global movement against racism. Here on France 24, we want to bring you the human stories behind the headlines. The programme is called The New Normal, and it features original reporting every week from France 24's correspondents all around the world.
The New Normal on France 24 and france24.com.
It is an adventure to wake up in Beirut every day, every morning.
We don't need the explosion to know this kind of problem in Lebanon. We had this from before.
We're seeing that long-term planning, visualizing yourself.
We're tired of dying and being reborn. People say Beirut is like a phoenix. We're tired of being a phoenix. We want to be we want to live. That's as simple as that.
This week, we're in Lebanon to follow the daily lives of a group of young friends. They share with us their hopes, dreams, and fears. Don't miss our new report featuring Lebanese youth on France 24 and france24.com.
Hopes of a return to civilian rule in Mali. The ruling junta sits down with civil groups as international pressure grows 2 weeks after the army seized power in a coup. 1 month on, dozens of injured Lebanese are recovering from wounds sustained in the Beirut port explosion. Our team meet with a top plastic surgeon who's helping those disfigured in the blast. And coronavirus cases continue to rise in Western Europe. The French health minister urges people to be vigilant as Spanish teachers call on the government to do more to keep them safe when schools go back next week. Those are the headlines this hour. You're watching France 24. We begin this hour in Mali, where the military junta, which seized power 2 weeks ago, is holding talks with civilian groups. The army is under pressure from France and from regional leaders to hand power back to a civilian government. Mali has long been plagued by chronic instability, jihadist violence and endemic corruption, and it's hoped today's negotiations will help the country to move forward.
A crucial period for Mali, as talks begin in Bamako between the country's junta and political and civil society groups, paving a way for a transition to civilian rule.
Que la concertation nationale sur la transition débutera le samedi 5 septembre 2020 à Bamako, au Centre international de conférence de Bamako, CICB, et dans les capitales régionales, par la tenue d'un atelier de validation des termes de référence sous la direction des gouverneurs.
The talks come after swathes of mounting pressure, both from within and externally, with the country's neighbours fearing a spillover from any impending crisis, as well as calling for the junta to swiftly cede power. Known as the National Committee for the Salvation of the People, the junta took control 2 weeks ago, overthrowing President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta in a coup d'etat. But the main groundswell of opposition toward the president was headed by protesting members of the June 5 movement, comprising of a coalition of civil and religious leaders. The movement wasn't invited for transition talks last Saturday, with the junta calling off discussions at the last minute. However, now they've been asked to join at the negotiation table, accompanied by other political parties, unions and members of the media. The latest talks will seek to define a new charter, but several key sticking points remain. While the junta had originally proposed a 3-year transition before scaling that down to 2 years, the June 5 movement had instead demanded 12 to 24 months. It's also still unclear if the president and prime minister will come from within civil society or from the military, and the composition of the transitional government remains to be decided. Meanwhile, parallel talks are also set to take place in the regional capitals, led by local governors, while, according to the junta, the diaspora will also be given a chance to have their say.
At least 17 people have died after an underground gas pipeline exploded near a mosque just outside Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. Dozens of others were wounded, most of them with serious burns. The blast occurred Friday night as people were finishing their prayers at the Baitus Salat Jami Mosque. Among the victims, a 7-year-old boy. Officials suspect the blast was caused by a leak in the gas pipe. Dozens of people are still recovering from their injuries a month after a catastrophic explosion in the port of Beirut. Some were disfigured by the blast and now have to wait several months for reconstructive surgery. Our reporters have been meeting with one of Lebanon's top plastic surgeons and with those who are hoping he can help them. A warning, some viewers may find this report disturbing.
Je suis quelqu'un de miraculeux parce que moi je prie beaucoup.
Rita's family had to search for 14 hours before finding her at one of Beirut's hospitals. Her skull and face had been severely damaged by the explosion, and she was unconscious. This plastic surgeon has saved her life.
Je suis arrivée à l'hôpital de l'Hôtel-Dieu et c'est là que tout a bien commencé. J'ai eu un rapide traitement pour mes yeux, ma tête, ma main. Plein de choses aussi dans mon corps.
La partie du crâne qui a été enlevée ici, elle va être réparée. Et elle va être réparée selon une imprimante digitale en 3 dimensions qui fera la réparation et qu'on remettra en place sans aucun problème. Et les cheveux repousseront ad integrum.
Rita will undergo her next surgery in 10 days' time to reconstruct her face as it was before the explosion.
Nous avons beaucoup d'atteintes faciales. Beaucoup d'atteintes faciales parce que les gens étaient dans leur maison. Certains étaient près des portes, certains étaient près des fenêtres et ils ont été soit projetés, soit quelque chose est tombé sur eux. صباح الخير كيفنا؟ ماشي الحال؟
ضغط الانفجار طيرني فتت بالحيط كان ثاقبي وجهي هون هو اللي فات بالحيط وصار